My guest today is Ricou Browning, and we're talking to him on October 26, 2008 at the Chiller Theater Expo. Can you tell us about your part in the Creature from the Black Lagoon movies?
Yes, I played the underwater creature in all three films. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, and Creature Walks Among Us. Three different guys played the topside parts. Ben Chapman in the first one, Tom Hennessy in the second one, and Don McGowan in the third one.
What was the reason that you got the swimming parts?
I kind of lucked into it. A friend of mine was the general manager of a spring near Tallahassee, Florida called Wakulla Springs. He was out of town. He called me and he said, "Would you mind picking some people up at the airport, take them to see Wakulla Springs? They're looking for a location for a movie." So I did. While we were there, the underwater cameraman said, "Would you mind swimming in front of the camera just to see some perspective of the size of the fish compared to people and the logs and the grass and so forth?" I said, "Okay," so I did. They saw the spring, the river, and everything and loved it, and I took them to the airport. They left. A week later, I got a call from the manager from the hotel and said, "They're trying to get a hold of you about this movie." And I said, "Well, here's my number." And Jack Arnold, the director, called me, and he said, "How would you like to be the creature?" And I said, "Creature what?" He said, "We're doing an underwater film about an underwater monster." And I said, "Why not?" So I went to L.A., and that was the story. However, the reason they picked me was because they liked the way I swam. And the way I swam was the way the creature swims. So it's the normal way I swim.
So when you showed them the water and you got in, that was actually your screen test?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
I've been down there to Florida, and that water is exceptionally clear. I mean, you could see right to the bottom. Is that why they picked to film it there?
Yes, that was one of the reasons. However, every year the water gets a little murky because of all the heavy rain coming through the swamps. And it was a little more murky than crystal clear when we shot, which was to our advantage. It helped a little. So,
and you've done some underwater work on other shows too, right? Flipper, Sea Hunt.
Yeah, I created a show, Flipper, and we made two features, 4 years of television, then a third one thereafter. Flipper was a lot of fun, and those animals are very, very intelligent. I trained the one we used for the feature with my son, Ricky. He was 9 years old at the time, and he doubled the boy in the film, Luke Halpin.
So there was only one dolphin?
For the feature, there was only one dolphin. After that, we got 5, trained them. For the TV series, we used 2 out of the 5. We didn't have to use the others. I did the underwater sequences for the James Bond films. I directed underwater, Thunderball, and Never Say Never Again.
You just sort of fell into that as like a by-accident thing and then just continued?
Yeah, I met Ivan Tors and started working with him and for him on a show called Sea Hunt. I was a stunt double for the bad guys, and I played most of the bad guys in all of the series. Anyway, after we filmed 1 year at Silver Springs, he said, "Let's go to the Bahamas and we'll film there for the rest of the show." So the next 3 years, we moved to the Bahamas, formed a company, and filmed Sea Hunt, another show called Aquanauts, another one called Malibu Run, and we did features like Around the World Under the Sea.
Do you still dive?
Yeah, a friend of mine has a boat, I don't, and we go out maybe once a month, and we dive on the wrecks off of Fort Lauderdale. But you pick the good days, it's nice diving.
Did you have much interaction when you were shooting the Creature from the Black Lagoon movies with the creatures on land? Like, were they doing particular things to try to make you look the same? Did you have to compare each other or anything like that?
No, not really. No, we just...
Ben Chapman's been a guest here at Chiller quite a few times, and we miss him. He seemed like a really great guy.
He was. I guess it's a funny story. We never met until 50 years after the movie was made. He worked topside at Universal Studios on the back lot for the first unit, and I worked underwater at Wakulla Springs. They made my suit first. I left, so they made his suit thereafter. And we met at a show at Wakulla Springs called Creature Fest. We became very close friends after that and did a number of shows together. It's sad that he's gone. He was such a nice man.
I didn't even think about the fact that you were filming completely separately, so did you actually have interaction with the creatures 2 and 3 at all?
No, the second movie, the whole film, Revenge of the Creature, was shot totally in Florida, near St. Augustine, Marineland Studios. And the underwater was filmed at Silver Springs and inside the tanks at Marineland Studios. And Tom Hennessy played the topside creature, and I was the underwater creature, and we became good friends. Matter of fact, we roomed together in Jacksonville when they did the sequence where they had the dance, and he grabs the girl and jumps in the water. Funny story, he moved into the hotel before I was there, and when I arrived, I was all grubby and dirty from a day's work, and I went in to take a shower, and there was a caiman, which is a South American alligator, about 3 feet long in the bathtub. He had purchased it, and he's going to take it home with him.
Did you have a good time here at the Chiller Convention?
Very much so. I made good friends with a bunch of the staff, and the people have been great, and the show's been great. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
It's been wonderful to have you here.